Alright everybody, this is B&K Sports Lounge back at it again. I have my buddy Matt Cooper.
How y'all doing?
Basically, for the next few episodes, I'm going to bring in somebody different every time just to mix things up. I don't want you guys expecting the same old every time. So Matt, go ahead and give them a little 411 on yourself, rundown as you will.
Okay, well my name's Matt Cooper, a longtime friend of Blake Jennings here, longtime rival when it comes to the sports talk here. And I can tell you right now, we're going to have a good one here. You ready to get to it?
I am. We're going to go 5. We're going to go 5 through 1, of course. I'm going to start with my number 5, then Matt's going to give you his number 5, 4, and all the way up to number 1.
So, good to me.
Number 5, I like Greg Jennings.
Yes.
And a lot of people might forget about Greg Jennings because he had kind of a off Greg Jennings year last year.
I can't believe you put him 5, my friend. That's your favorite receiver out there.
That is just because it is my last name, and I do like the Green Bay Packers. But I'm a fair fan, though. I'm a fair fan. I'm going to give somebody a rating I feel like they deserve. Going into 2013, what I love about Greg Jennings that you could argue for against a lot of these guys is Greg Jennings, the amount of talent he has around him at the receiver position in Green Bay, I think that kind of skews his stats. What do I mean by that? Excuse me. Is that you've got Jordy Nelson, James Jones, Randall Cobb, Jermichael Finley that you've got to compete for the ball. If you put him, let's say like a Seattle Seahawks or a St. Louis Rams, where he's the go-to guy, think about the attempts he would get.
Because he is one of the most consistent wide receivers in the NFL.
And no matter how much talent he's got around him, he always gets it done at a very high level. That's my number 5, though. Matt, who's your number 5?
My number 5, I'm actually going to go with Brandon Marshall. I love it because he's back with his longtime buddy and pal, Jay Cutler. You got going into a new team together, like I said, longtime friends. They already have the chemistry from back in the Denver days. You know, they're going to click just like this off the start. They don't have any getting used to. Maybe a new offense to change to for him, you know, but it'll give it a couple games, they'll have it. Also, terrific schedule. They have a very favorable schedule. I think it's going to be a great year for them, and the sky's the limit for Brandon Marshall and Jay Cutler.
Alrighty. Alright, number 4, Matt, who do you have?
I'm going to get mine. Now, I know y'all might be a little mad at me here, but Andre Johnson's dropped to the number 4 on mine after thinking about it for a while. Now, he does have a good schedule. It looks to be in his favor. As always, you know, the Texans have, you know, one of the more mediocre schedules.
It's an easier division.
Yes, exactly. But Andre Johnson has a problem with injuries.
He does.
We've never been able to really see the very tip-top of what he can do. There's always that.
Well, Finnegan sure did.
yes, sir, he did. He saw the right hook there. But Andre Johnson, like I said, just his proneness to injury is just killing him. We haven't been able to really put him as a number 1, number 2 receiver until you can actually get a full year out of him and see what his stats can actually be until you can compare him to like the Megatrons of the world and the Larry Fitzgerald, stuff like that.
We will beg to differ because I never think you should compare Andre Johnson to Megatron since he's been in the league longer. You should be comparing Megatron to Andre Johnson.
Oh.
Okay, but we'll get to that.
The student has surpassed the master, excuse me.
Andre Johnson's still teaching. Anyways, number 4, I like Wes Welker. But is he going to sign that contract?
I don't know, man. I mean, I honestly don't.
Actually, I guess, is he going to get the contract? But look, I like Wes Welker.
I think he's holding out for a good cause, though, to make a point on that.
But Wes Welker, look, it's weird about Wes Welker. I mean, you think of Calvin Johnson, size, speed, strength, just pure God-given talent. Greg Jennings runs some of the greatest routes in the game, smooth hands. And then you got Andre Johnson, just beast. But Wes Welker, nothing flashy about him. He's not faster than anybody else. He's that blue-collar workhorse that comes into the games with a chip on his shoulder. And man, is he not consistent. Every year, he's just catch after catch after catch. I like Wes Welker.
Always receptions.
Always. All right, number 3, I'm going to go ahead and start this one. I like Larry Fitzgerald. A lot of people, this is probably a little too low for Larry Fitzgerald, but my question with Larry Fitzgerald, who is the quarterback? If you guys seen, I don't know if you guys have a Twitter, on your Twitter game, but Larry Fitzgerald, he did say, fantasy owners, pick Calvin Johnson over me, because he has a quarterback. I don't. And it's true.
I don't like that about Larry Fitzgerald for the sole fact that you just put your quarterback on blast. You just said that quarterback is better than my quarterback, so pick that guy.
Well,
bad chemistry in the locker room.
Yep. And I will agree, but like people say, he was keeping 100. So
yeah, looking like New York in there.
Alrighty. Matt, who's your number 3?
My number 3 is little old man. I'm going to go with a little guy like you did. Michael Crabtree. Love him. Michael Crabtree had a fantastic year last year. Obviously, he's leading all your stats in your fantasies and everything like that. Also now they've added Moss. Given that Moss may be 100 years old now or whatever, he still has to have a man over the top. He's still got that Moss speed. He's still got that Moss.
He can still burn by almost any point.
Exactly.
He still can.
And see, with that also, they also had Mario Manningham, I believe, right?
Yes,
they did. Well, Mario Manningham, we've seen what he can do with the Giants, obviously. So now he's coming to a system with a very good quarterback in Alex Smith, and then you have, obviously, the
Alex Smith. He impressed me in the playoffs last year. He isn't up in... It's weird to say up and coming. He's been in the league for quite a while now.
Clutching you two there, huh?
Yeah, and everybody thought he was a bust, which, But, I mean, honestly, though, he looked good in the playoffs last year. He really did. But especially that Saints game. He single-handedly won in that game.
Very humble guy, too.
He is. Well, he's had a lot of criticism. All right, Matt, go ahead and give me number 2.
Number 2? I'm going with number 5, bud, Greg Jennings.
That high, huh?
Oh, yes. Greg Jennings is one of the most consistent top 5 wide receivers in the NFL for as long as you can look back. I love Greg Jennings because he's a leader of his team. He has a great quarterback, obviously, in Aaron Rodgers. Now, the Green Bay Packers have gone to what they are calling a more run-oriented offense. You think back to the recent years, what do we have out of the Packers? A huge, explosive passing game to the 6 of the best wide receivers there are. But now you think they're only going to keep 6 wide receivers coming into this season to focus more on the running game. What I think happens is, because you don't have the Ryan Grant there anymore, you have to resort to
James Starks.
How can you leave that much talent alone? How can you not let that talent be used? How can you rely on something that you're not sure about yet as to something that's got you to NFC championships in consistent years?
Well, to argue against that, Ryan Grant never truly got them to where they were been. It was their passing game. Their short passing game was their running game. I think it's good that they're going for the more balanced offense. They maybe kind of throw defenses off. But we all know Packers are not going to shy away from that passing game whatsoever.
Not at all.
My number 2, I have Andre Johnson. Beast.
If he stays healthy, absolutely.
Well, this is going to 2013. I believe he will stay healthy. And look, whether he's healthy or he's not, he's Andre Johnson. How could you have a top 3 without Mr. Andre Johnson? As we said... And I'm going to go ahead and give away my number 1. Even though I have Calvin Johnson as my number 1, look, Andre Johnson's still the teacher. Calvin Johnson is still the student.
The student has surpassed the master.
He may have surpassed him going into 2013, but Andre Johnson, you can never shy away from him. Never. He is a beast. He's Andre Johnson. Who's your number 1, though, Coop?
Well, ladies and gentlemen, I think you're all expecting it here, but obviously Calvin Johnson. The man is just an unbelievable athlete, huge human being. He can just take over a game at any point. All you got to do is put the ball in the air. If it comes down to a corner catch in the end zone, you know who's winning. You might as well just go get some popcorn if they throw it up in the end zone.
If someone did not have Calvin Johnson as their number 1, somewhere there's a village missing their idiot. Seriously.
Yes, sir.
He's Megatron. So, obviously.
He also, he's got
Stafford. Real.
He's got Stafford, who I think has been underrated over the years, but now everybody's starting to see it. Year by year, he's just getting better and better, and now you're seeing Calvin Johnson just putting up bigger numbers. And now that Stafford's got himself in a rhythm here. He's got a team he's with. He's the franchise quarterback. He knows he's got a spot. It's time to work on the big things here. Getting to the championship games, getting you a Super Bowl, getting you a ring.